But, Mike Woodson talked about, being able to get on the floor and finally work with these guys. And he's pretty certainly very fired up about that, about implementing what he wants to do, both offensively and defensively. And, some interesting comments from that pressure last week, and particularly about Jerome Hunter as well. Certainly about what led to his decision to leave and end up at Xavier.
You know what I loved about it most? The best thing about that was the complete transparency, complete honesty. You don't see that from many coaches. The only coaches you see that from are older, veteran coaches.
Yeah.
Who know that this is not about, you have to, there's certain things that you shouldn't say. I get that. But not saying a lot of things is worse. And he's, Izzo or Woody, he's been in the pros. He's like, dude, he's dealing with the media. He's meeting with the media. He's talking to the media. First of all, he knows that that's important. It's beneficial. But he's also honest and straightforward. And you just don't get that a lot. And that is so refreshing. Let's roll the clip, John. This is about Jerome Hunter and why he's leaving.
I guess kind of speaking of shooting, I wanted to ask about, I guess, what happened with Jerome Hunter. I know you had a statement about that, but I wanted to see if you could tell us any more about just what led to his departure and what do you think it costs you, losing another guy that's sort of a bigger wing that can shoot.
Well, again, I won't get deep into this because I like keeping stuff like that in house. We decided to part ways, and he landed on his feet in Xavier, so I'm very excited about that. And talking about shooting, I mean, he was a guy that could make it, but his percentage didn't show that, and we didn't mix the way I think I wanted it to be between he and I. And that's no knock against him because I think he's an excellent kid, and we decided to part ways, and he understood, and I understood, and he left here and still landed on his feet at Xavier. So all I can wish him is nothing but the best, and we got to worry about the guys that we have in our Indiana uniform as we move forward.
There you go. That's about as honest as you can get, and it's basically saying, hey, man, it's a different philosophy, which I was a little surprised because there was obviously things not going well between him and Archie Miller, which things weren't going well between anyone and Archie Miller. But I thought that may be a second opportunity for him. But the more important thing that he said was he talked about his shooting, and he says the percentages don't show it. I mean, you never get a coach that is that honest, just says he's not doing the job, or he wasn't doing the job to the standard that we need, that he needs. And that is gigantic because, again, that is setting a bar that Indiana is going to be here. This is going to be where the bar is, and you have to do that. And he did exactly that.
Yeah, accountability, I think, which is really big. And it was kind of funny looking at that. We're in the Zoom world now, that Zoom clip, right? It looked like Hollywood Squares. I was waiting for like Paul Lind or something to pop up, but no, but getting back to Jerome, yeah, if you remember with even a few years ago when I first started on the beat, I remember it was viewed as such this big story when it was announced that he was going to get back on the court again, and obviously the leg issue sent him back. But the expectations for this guy, remember, 4-star from Pickering, Ohio, this was supposed to be a guy that was a program changer, right, for Archie Miller, like this wing that could come in, and he was multidimensional, and he could score, and it just never really clicked. And who knows how much that leg condition really set him back ultimately.
Nothing matters
with regards to his Indiana career, but for whatever reason, it didn't materialize. He certainly couldn't defend at the level where Archie could trust him, and the shooting, never got to the point where he had his moments, right? And particularly this past season where he showed he could be like a 6-man offensive spark off the bench, but he never got to that point where he could really be, an impact guy. And I think, I think Mike Woodson saw that in the tape. And I think too, you bring in a guy like Miller Kopp, who can stretch the defense, who's probably a little bit more of a consistent shooter, a higher percentage 3-point shooter, 36% for his career. And that's an upgrade at that position. And what are you going to do with 2-6-7 wings that are, pretty much the same? And plus, Miller Kopp can shoot free throws better too.
Well, I think they've upgraded in the two positions that Armaan Franklin and Jerome Hunter specifically. They upgraded both of those positions. They've increased output. They've increased efficiency. They've increased everything. And they're better off. And I think it was, I don't want to say a mistake by Armaan Franklin, but I don't know if he was afraid to try to work in a different system, or I don't want to say afraid, but working more in a pack line system is not going to help you get anywhere. That is not going to elevate your status in any way. I don't understand what he thinks he's going to get there, which that's fine. I'm not questioning his judgment. I'm just saying, I'm wondering what in the world, if he wants to go to the next level, is he going to get at Virginia under that system versus what he had here? I think it was maybe didn't want to change. I don't know.